And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We got to get there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share with your family and your friends because, again, as I'm going to say every single day, the stupidity never ends. So last night, Trump attended Les Misérables at the Kennedy Center, and he was booed upon his arrival, as if he expected anything different. Meanwhile, it seemed to have left a mark, as Trump had a temper tantrum this morning on Truth Social, posting random thoughts. Let me tell you what he said. In it, he turns around and he writes, "The great, big, beautiful bill will grow the economy like it has never grown before. At the same time, it is cutting expenses by $1.6 trillion. It puts our country on the right track. Plus, make America great again." He also went ahead, this is like right after, "The China deal is great!" Exclamation mark. Mind you, 13,000 people like this one. Los Angeles was safe and sound for the last 2 nights. Our great National Guard, with a little help from the Marines, put the LA police in a position to effectively do their job. They all work well together, but without the military, Los Angeles would be a crime scene like we haven't seen in years. Governor Gavin Newsom had totally lost control of the situation. He should be saying thank you for saving his ass instead of trying to justify his mistakes and incompetence. You know, I got to tell you, I want to go back to Les Mis for a quick second because it's a very interesting dynamic there. Just to give those of you who may not be aware, especially why it was stupid that Trump even went. So Les Mis is a musical, and it's based upon a novel by Victor Hugo written in 1862. And what the musical does is it traces this story of the main character. His name is Jean Valjean, right? If I'm probably even John Valjean, an ex-convict, right? Seeking redemption. So follow these words: convict, ex-convict, seeking redemption, and his journey through poverty, doesn't apply, social injustice, and of course, at the time, taking place in revolutionary France. Now, what does the musical do? It explores themes. What's one of the themes? Redemption, love, passion, sacrifice, and the fight for social justice. Interesting that Trump would go. Meanwhile, so last night, Trump and Melania, of course, they walked the red carpet. She didn't look too thrilled to be with him. When he arrived at his seat, he was again booed by the crowd. Play the clip. Yeah, I mean, he'll turn around and say it wasn't boos, it was cheers. Of course, it's just what they're going to say. Meanwhile, a whole slew of drag queens attended the performance as well in an act of protest against Trump and this administration. They were met by loud cheers. Play the clip. I mean, I guess people didn't realize that they were drag queens until ultimately they did. Meanwhile, Trump's interview on the red carpet didn't go too well either. He was asked which Les Mis character was his favorite. You think that he would at least do a little bit of reading? No. Play the clip.
On the musical, have you seen the musical before, and do you identify more with Jean Valjean or Javert?
That's a tough one, that last part of that question. That's tough, I think. You better answer that one, honey. I don't know. I've seen it. We've seen it a number of times. It's fantastic. I thought it was just about our first choice. And that's what we got. And we have others coming. Other great ones are coming.
Phantom?
Yeah. Now at least I know how to pronounce it. Jean Valjean. He's also asked about how some actors were planning on boycotting that performance because of his attendance. Play that clip.
It's been reported that some actors may be boycotting tonight.
I couldn't care less, honestly. All I do is run the country well. The economic numbers, you saw them today, they're setting records. We took $88 billion in tariffs in 2 months, far beyond what anybody expected. There's no inflation. People are happy. People are wealthy. The country's getting back to strength again. That's what I care about. And we're going to have a safe country. We're not going to...
Yeah. I mean, right back to the old talking points there, eh? Meanwhile, Trump was asked about a potential summer of unrest as protests grow across this country. Play that clip.
If this turns into another summer of unrest, what are you prepared to do, sir?
About what?
If this turns, well, the protests have spread now to 16 cities across the U.S. If this turns in...
That's what you're saying. Do I believe you? I don't think so.
Well, I got that from the
I
Fox
can tell
News
you
green
that
room.
What we have is a situation in Los Angeles that was caused by gross incompetence. They didn't have the police to handle it. The police were asking us to come in. They were very late. We had to go in to save a lot of ICE officers, as you know, who were held up. They were holed up in a building, and they were being attacked. And the military went in, the National Guard went in and got them. The police weren't able, unfortunately, to move fast enough, but we moved fast.
Wow. That, my friends, is an absolute new one. So now ICE agents were trapped inside by the protesters. Look, as I wrote in my Substack of this morning, if you believe Donald Trump's latest doomsday drivel, you think Los Angeles has transformed into Fallujah overnight. He is once again trying to terrify the public into submission, literally waving around imaginary violence like a toddler with a sparkler, screaming that the streets of LA are under siege and that without him, the city would be smoldering pile of liberal rubble. Now, here's the inconvenient truth for Trump and his dystopian fantasy factory. Los Angeles is not on fire. The only thing burning is his credibility. I mean, that's assuming that there's anything left to ignite. Got to look at the facts, not the alternative facts, not Fox News panicked porn, real facts straight from the source. What he's saying about LA and what he's talking about the ICE, and thanks to him and bringing in the troops, the whole 9 yards, that LA would be a smoldering pile of ash, it's just not true. We all see it. We all see what the images look like. We heard from the LA County District Attorney himself, Nate Hochman, who delivered the truth with surgical precision this week. Protests over the latest round of ICE deportation raids have been overwhelmingly peaceful, to the point that he said 99.99% of Angelenos haven't done a goddamn thing wrong. Meanwhile, Trump proudly claimed that LA would still be burning to the ground if he hadn't helped. Again, it's a lie. Play the clip.
People are happy. People are wealthy. The country's getting back to strength again. That's what I care about. And we're going to have a safe country. We're not going to have what would have happened in Los Angeles. Remember, if I wasn't there, if I didn't act quickly on that, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground right now. Thank you.
Madam First Lady, what does it mean to you to be here tonight?
You know, never get in between Trump and the camera, because the only thing, if you ask him a question that he's going to deliver, is a lie. Meanwhile, Trump again said that he actually, get a load of this, that he himself, as a result of his actions, stopped death and destruction. Play that clip.
There, and we stopped tremendous destruction and death. We stopped death. We stopped a lot. And if you look at them cutting up and breaking up the sidewalk and getting it and using it as a weapon, did you see that with the curb? Where they're breaking up the curb, nice curb, and they break it up with a hammer because they couldn't get the bricks in. You know, they got caught.
Yeah, they got caught from nothing. A reporter then goes on and asks if Trump would be willing to extend the deadline for trade talks. Play that clip.
Trump, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Maybe so quiet, Jeff.
I have a. My question is on trade. Would you be willing to extend the deadline for trade talks with these countries?
I would, but I don't think we're going to have that necessity. We made a great deal with China. We're very happy with it. We have everything we need, and we're going to do very well with it, and hopefully they are too. That was a very big one. As you know, we did with the UK, and I tell you what, we're rocking in terms of deals. Now, At a certain point, we're just going to send letters out, and I think you understand that, saying this is the deal. You can take it or you can leave it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to shop in the United States, as I say. So at a certain point, we'll do that. We're not quite ready. We're dealing with quite a few countries, and they all want to make a deal with us, every one of them.
Who's next? Who are you?
If everyone wants to make a deal, then why are you just sending out these unilateral trade letters? They're not deals. There's nothing in it. You know, a trade deal takes an awful long time within which to create. It's not a letter from the desk of President Donald J. Trump. Dear China, you are not going to charge America more than 5%. America is going to charge you back a reciprocal 5%. End of story. Sign below. That's not how a trade deal works in the real world. Meanwhile, Trump said that he was dealing with potential deals for 15 countries. Play that clip.
Who are you expecting to get a deal with next?
Well, we're dealing with Japan, we're dealing with South Korea, we're dealing with a lot of them. We're dealing with about 15 countries, but as you know, we have about 150 plus, and you can't do that. So we're going to be sending letters out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, to countries, telling them what the deal is, like I did with EU.
And are you happy with the EU right now? You were unhappy with them about 10 days ago.
Well, I'll let you know in about a week. They do want to negotiate, I will say that. Thank you.
It's unbelievable. Again, the EU, like the UK, it's one of the few places in the world that we actually have a trade surplus. Look, as I finish in my Substack post for today, I write, Trump wants to rewrite reality. People of LA and across this country and the world aren't buying the script. They see the con, they see the cruelty, and they see through the smoke. So while the birthday boy stands at the center of his little parade, demanding loyalty and licking frosting from his fingers, the country will be marching in a different direction. It's a direction toward justice, towards truth, and a very loud reminder that we don't do kings here. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.